Working? Hello, Preston! Are we voting this week? Come on! You see what you just watched there? I bet many of you have already seen it. Hopefully you've seen it. The censorship already. This video has gone up on multiple different people's YouTube channels and it's been censored. Age appropriate, can't be shared, can't be commented. They don't want the public to see the reality. This was orchestrated. You witnessed. I started on that because we were set up round the corner in the middle of that estate, and a lady who lives in the house next door come over and said, "I'm sorry, I watched your video in Oldham and I saw what happened. Can you guarantee me that hundreds of masked up balaclavaed men are not going to come here and attack you?" I said, "I can't."
No.
She said, "Can you guarantee the police will stop them?" I said, "I can't." She said, "Well, I've got my children here. I'm not part of this political rally, and I don't feel safe." The fact that people can't have political rallies without that level of fear is the reality of where we're at. So we agreed to move. The fact that all of you have watched that video and you've still come down, you're still standing here, sends everyone a message. It sends them all a message. And I've gone, this is probably the best crowd we've had all across the northwest. So go on, Preston. I'm getting more and more confident as the days go on in this campaign. We're winning! We have a reporter here from the local newspaper. Do we see? No. Let's see what comes out. Do you see far-right thugs here, or do you see families and normal British people? Please report. Please report what you see. Please report what you see. To every one of you. We are going to make history this week. Never before has an independent won in the European elections. Never before. You've seen what they're doing to us. We've seen police interference in Cumbria. We've seen all of our social media removed. We're not fighting a fair election. Everything has been shut down and silenced. My ability to speak to you has gone on social media. It's gone. And against all of that, we're going to absolutely smash it this week. We must. You see what we're doing now? You see, bringing our communities together. Every one of you getting to know each other. We've created a movement of people. Look. Hello again. Look around you. Look around you. Feel your strength. This is part of a tidal wave of patriotism that is sweeping across the northwest for the last 3 weeks. Until we organise, what we have become as a society is selfish. Most of us care about ourselves and only ourselves. People, I understand it. 10 years ago when I started my activism, I wore a mask and I used a fake name. I did that, unless you didn't know, my name's Stephen Yaxley Lennon. I'm sure the journalist from the Lancaster Post will tell you so in her article. I know, I'm only joking, mate. Okay, tell the journalist that writes the story. Stop lying, tell him. So, I wore a mask and I used a fake name because I was scared. I know that everyone has been scared. I was scared of losing my job. I was scared of violent attacks. I know that every single one of you, even sharing articles, can bring social problems. Even I said at every rally I go to, and people come up to me afterwards and say, "I don't want to hot some bloke up, so I'm going to change the make of the car he's told his wife he was going to look at." But every single place I go, I say, some of you have probably had to lie about where you're going, make excuses. Some bloke come up to me afterwards and said, "My wife thinks I'm going to look at a BMW today." And here I am. So I know what it means to take that step. I know what it means to finally come out, to finally speak your opinion. Too many people in this country feel censored and feel silenced. The reason a movement has built behind us, we started 10 years ago, it's grown and grown and grown and grown. The reason is because people don't feel free. I wouldn't say it is me. I'd say it's the fact that people everywhere across this country feel silenced. They feel voiceless. They're watching their country change for the worse, and there's no one saying anything about it. They're witnessing the decay. We have 650 MPs, and not one of them has ever stood up and said one critical word about the problems we see from a certain section of a community in our country. I'm asking every one of you that I want to be your voice. I want to be your voice. And I've watched when I was, after my court case got kicked out of the Old Bailey. Who was there that day? Wow, historic moment. When that happened, I was invited to dinner at the House of Lords by Lord Preston. I went for dinner, and then I watched on the news the next day the sneering by the politicians, the lies they told, their contempt for us, not for me, for us. The labelling of us as people is disgusting. I remember watching it that day and thinking, one day I'm going to sit in there amongst you and it's going to rock that building. I'm asking you now, on the 23rd of May, we have an opportunity to strike like a bolt of lightning right into the middle of them. Send me in, please. Send me in. I promise you, I will be a voice. I will never be politically correct, as I'm sure you've all worked out by now. I will never shy away, and I do it because I care. When you look at politicians, I watch all these politicians, and I watch them speaking. I say, I don't even think you believe what you're saying. And there's one thing that people can guarantee with me, they know I believe this. They know I believe it. I care. I love our country. I love it. I want what's best for it. Every one of us have a duty. We have a duty as parents. We have a duty as English men, as English women. Our forefathers, and I think all the time, I think deeply, I've sat and I've had to think deeply because I have to debate and have these arguments with my mum. My mum doesn't try and argue anymore, she's on side. But my wife, because when I think of what previous generations sacrificed, they sacrificed their lives. Children pretended they were men, they lied about their age, they willingly run and they fought and they died, and they done that for their country. They didn't shy away and hide. They done that for a safe and prosperous Britain for every single one of us. Right now, we as people, as British men and women, have failed for the last 20 or 30 years. We've been cowered in fear. It's about time we break that fear. It's about time we stand up. And I'm asking you, on the 23rd of May, I don't want it to be a protest vote. I don't want this to be viewed as, yeah, people are angry, so they protested with a vote. I want the 23rd of May to be the start of an uprising. It's the start of an uprising. And it's 74. I keep going on about class, and I don't want to alienate anyone who's middle class or from Middle England, because so many of them are now supporting. But when we look at Parliament, the reason why I get frustrated and I get angry, the reason why so many of us are so disillusioned with British politics, 75% of this country are from working class communities. Only 4% of Parliament are from working class background. There is no representation for us. How many of you sit and watch any political debate, any of their chat shows?
Yeah. Don't lie. Tommy Robinson live.
I'm asking that on the 23rd of May, we send the establishment a message. We send the media a message. And we send the European Union a message.
Look at that grin, you know what you've just said.
Even
Robinson.
do you know the love? Do you know?
Oh, Tommy!
Do you know the love I have felt over the last 3 weeks. I've smiled, even with all this, whatever's gone on. I have smiled. I've turned lesbians. Look. I have smiled my way through. In fact, I'm smiling every day because everywhere I go, I don't just get people shaking my hand. If a car drives past, they don't just go, all right, mate. They go, come on, Tom. Come on, son. When I get hugs off women, I feel the love. So I want to say to every one of you, everywhere I go, I feel so loved. And it's an amazing feeling. It's a great feeling. We have built a movement. When I was put in prison outside Leeds Crown Court, how many people here? How many people here was that the moment that you started watching, reading, learning? Was that the moment? So when I got put in jail, I got letters like this, and I read for 6 hours. I set myself a schedule. I read for 6 hours, and I then read so many people's emotions, how passionate people were. I read people who said, I've never been politically motivated, I've never attended a protest, I've never wrote to anyone in prison, and I'm about to do all three. Yeah? That is what we need to do. We need to politicise our people. We need to involve ourselves. 22 million people didn't vote at the last general election. 22 million people. I have never ever voted in my life. I've never voted. The reason they betray us is because we're not putting them in power no more. We don't vote. Some of the wards I've looked at in the northwest, 82% of people don't vote. And I've had so many lads saying, I've never voted, I'm voting for you. If we get the non-voters voting, if we get our communities politicised, it will strike the fear of God into them. It will. And it's the north currently.
Fucking happens when we do.
How many people here? You've had 8 MEPs on £96,000 a year. They get £300 a day. £300 a day expenses with no receipts needed. How many of you here? Can anyone name one of your MEPs? Hey, can put your hand up.
Sammy Robinson!
So you've had 8.
Got done for being a pedo, so
One of them got number. You've had 8 MEPs, and no one's heard a word about them. British politics, and the European Union needs a shake-up. Trust me, if I'm elected, the whole world is going to hear about your MEP and what he's got to say. What a crowd, it's brilliant, man. It's a beautiful crowd, Preston, it's great. It's great. We've got 3 more days. 3 more days. What we need, I've had so many people come up to me saying, I've got my mum voting, I've got my auntie voting. That's what you've got to do. We need every single one of you. She's got her whole estate voting. Drive them to the polling stations, take them there. We need every single one of you to take this message away. This is a message against the establishment. I want to rock the establishment, and I need your help to do so. Take this message away. Speak to your friends, speak to your family, speak in the playgrounds, speak in the cafes, speak on the builders' yards. Make sure everyone is building up for the 23rd. Make sure everyone's talking about it. Don't feel, because everyone's been one of them people who thinks, what's the point? What's the point? It's never going to happen. We need to prove to the rest of the country, and trust me, we will do it. If we win this election, it will inspire people across this country to sit and think they did it. He did it in 4 weeks. He galvanised the working class in 4 weeks. And if we do it in the northwest today, we'll do it in the rest of the country tomorrow. We need to go city by city, estate by estate, taking our country back politically.
yes, Tommy!
And just picture, I say even to the people, lads, there's a few Muslim lads over here, how you doing, boys? I probably doubt they agree with me on everything. But there's one thing we all hate, It's the establishment. So if you boys want to rock that establishment, get down there and vote for me as well. There's no one they want to see less than me walking in there. You have an option. You have parties to vote for the North West. You can vote for the Brexit Party, which is Nigel Farage's Brexit Party. They are topping the polls across the whole country. Nigel Farage deserves a lot of respect. Yeah, he did, and he's done that. But he has sacrificed his life to fight the European Union. I think Nigel Farage, if he hates the European Union that much, he should be saying this. If the Brexit Party get 25 MEPs or 26, it makes no difference. If the Brexit Party get 25 MEPs and Tommy Robinson is elected, it's going to cause mayhem. It's going to cause mayhem. For too long.
Tommy Robinson.
Thanks for coming, boys.
Tommy Robinson.
For too.
Tommy Robinson.
I mean, lads. I don't hate you, lads. I don't hate you. So don't believe the media. I do talk honestly and openly about problems. I don't hate you, boys. Lads. The establishment. Lads. The establishment have been laughing at us for too long. Every time there's an election, we have witnessed the betrayal at every level across our country. We've watched the betrayal of our daughters in 78 towns and cities where our children were sacrificed due to political correctness, and the police stood by as our children were gang raped across this country. We've seen the betrayal of free speech. It has literally disappeared in front of our eyes. We live in a post-free speech era. Our grandfathers fought so we could have freedom, and they've slowly taken it away from us. We've seen and witnessed the betrayal of our armed forces, who are now being tried for fighting a war in Northern Ireland. The final betrayal was democracy, when 17.4 million people voted to leave the European Union. This election should not even be taking place. They have been laughing at us for too long. On the 23rd of May, let's wipe that smile off all their faces. When we talk, so people understand, you will vote. Eight people will be elected to represent you as MEPs. I don't know what the other 7 are going to do. I know what I'm going to do. I know exactly what I'm going to do. Even if you look, just so people can see how much they want to stop it. The date, I went to court last week. I've been retried for the offence I've already spent nearly 3 months on solitary confinement for reading. Some lady gave me an ear. This is what I read. It's still available on the internet. It's publicly held information that's online. This is exactly what I read in court. I read what's already online. It's not against the law. It's no crime. I've already done jail time for it, but they've recharged me. Now what they've recharged me for, the date when I'm elected as an MEP, my first date in office would be the 4th of July. What date do I have to attend? The Old Bailey? The 4th of July. And on the 4th of July, I know no matter what they do, they lose. No matter what they do, they lose. The British public have already made their mind up on this issue. Everyone who's watched that video, I think 8 million people watched that video. Everyone can see I've done nothing wrong. I was calm, I broke no laws, I've been to jail. If they send me back to jail, like Judge Marston done last time, more people will be woken up. More people will be researching. More people will be realising the media have been lying to them, not just about who I am, but about who our movement is. I had another lady over here, when I spoke in the estate, who thought, oh yeah, I've got mixed race children. I said, yeah. the betrayal and the image put across, it disgusts me. That people are absolutely lied to. I absolutely despise racism. I despise Nazis. I battled the racists for 10 years. I've battled every single one of them. I've done more for the left-wing activists watching this. I've called them out. I've had running battles with them. They'll go on about my violent conviction. My violent conviction was for knocking out a Nazi. I've done more to fight them. I've done more to fight them. So to know that people are still being lied to, this is the reason I need every one of you. Do you know my 9-year-old son was threatened at school by 3 12-year-olds. They were threatening to stab him actually, yeah? Because they said his dad was racist. Now, these children weren't Muslims, these were young black lads. And when I went to see their mums and their families, their mums were lovely. I met one lady from Uganda and she was so upset about her son. And I met her boy and he was actually a lovely kid when I got talking to him. And everything he'd been told, when I sat down with him, everything he'd been told was a lie. And that's why the journalists I just pointed out to here. The reason why I get so sick of this is because your lies have consequences. Your lies have consequences for every one of us who you're calling racist, for every one of us who you're demonising as far right. You've had consequences for my children. I've never spoke about race. I don't care if you're black, white, brown, yellow, I don't care. I love all of you. I talk about a religion and that's why these lies. That's why every one of you. I need you. I have no social media, we know that. I'm gutted, I still miss it. I deleted my life to concentrate on Twitter when I was on it. But I need you. You're all going to end up in Facebook jail. But I need you. I need you. I loved Gurmit Singh, what a legend he was. But I need every single one of you, because I've got no social media. That's why we need to literally, which I think's better anyway, social media or coming out onto estates like this. I want to travel for the next years, coming to different estates across the country, getting people out, building a network, getting ourselves organised politically and starting a fight back. I want to start a political revolution in Britain and I need every one of you to be part of it. And you know what, it sickens me when I see the way we spoke about, because I look and I meet every person and I see people from every walk of life, every age, every sexual orientation, all different people. Everywhere we go, I see the backbone of Britain, and then I see them lied about and labelled and tarnished. The police here we're in Lancaster, we're not in Greater Manchester, no, because Greater Manchester police let that happen, so, but the police...
GMP?
Yeah, GMP. So, the police have been great. When we pulled up earlier, some lad smashed a brick through the screen, that's the part of the brick there.
Oh, Andy!
Thankfully, the police arrested him. That's probably the first thing. But... well done, police, thank you. It's mad, isn't it? We have to applaud them for doing their job because they've actually done their job. It's mad, isn't it? We get happy if a journalist just tells the truth. We're like, oh my God, people are hugging journalists. There's a journalist here from Canada, and she's a neutral journalist, and she said, some of your supporters have been hugging me and really getting happy because I've been reporting fairly. Isn't it mad that we have to hug and we think, oh, how great! Every journalist's job should just be to report the truth. If a crime's committed, the police's job should just be to arrest them. We end up getting happy when they do their jobs. But I want to end this now on a video. I went to Barrow. And look, there's no opposition here today. There's a few Muslim lads who walked over. Every one of them had smiles on their faces. Every one of them been extremely pleasant. There's no counter-protest. But every town and city you're going to, there's usually a counter-protest. And they're all the same. It's the same people usually. They're paid. These people and these organisations are partly the reason that so many of you don't feel free to speak. They are the organisations that contact people's work. They're the organisations that get people fired for having an opinion. They are scaring people in this country not to speak freely. But we're not scared anymore. The cat's out of the bag. We're not scared. I've watched, and I keep laughing and smiling as they keep trying to put it back in, and it's like, it's out. You can't. It's out. People are reading. People have seen. People are awake. There's nothing you can do to stop it. what started. And this will all, I genuinely believe, every one of us will write our names in history, because currently what's happening in this country will be viewed throughout history as a certain era. It'll be an era of the fight back. It'll be an era that'll be looked upon. There's a worldwide political revolution going on. From Trump, if we look at Salvini's election, we look at Austria's, we look across Europe. For too long we've got excited about other countries in Europe's elections. Let's get excited about our own. Bring some excitement to your families. Build them up ready. The elections this week, get them talking, get them going. We're going to win. We're going to win. We're going to win. People of Preston, this is the best crowd we've had. Seriously, it's the biggest crowd. So where are we tomorrow? We're in Blackburn and Burnley tomorrow night. And then we're ending in Salford. We'll end this campaign on a bit. Oh no. We'll end this with a bit of a laugh, yeah? Have a watch of these social misfits, man.
High in the park! I love you, Tommy!
That's sexy!